Oh, Final Fantasy. There are a few things in the gaming world I love as much as classic Final Fantasy. The series that ripped me from my PC and Mac and made me into the mega console RPG fan that I am today. There's exciting news, rumors at this point, not confirmed, that there's going to be a Final Fantasy 30th Anniversary collection of Final Fantasies 1 through 9 released on one disc on the PS4 and possibly even a Vita release. And that could be pretty amazing if that happens. Next year is going to be the 30th anniversary of the series and the 20th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII in North America. And I think all of that really says, I really believe this is going to come out. Plus we have Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD on the PS4, we're going to get Final Fantasy XII HD on the PS4, Final Fantasy 15 of course, and the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I really think that that means to me that it's probably more than just a rumor, it's going to happen, because then it's for the big 30th anniversary special, you can play Final Fantasy 1 through 15 on PS4. That's going to be pretty crazy. I really think that is going to happen. We'll see that next year, and I still hold pretty firmly, I think, next holiday season, around Black Friday, Christmas 2017, we'll see part 1 of the episodic Final Fantasy VII Remake. I think we'll see that definitely. All within 1 year. So much Final Fantasy. But will I be interested in it? That's actually kind of a question for me because it depends on a couple details. What version of the games are they going to go for? Look at Final Fantasy I, the original. You have the Famicom and NES version, the MSX home computer version, the PS1, PSP, Game Boy Advance, WonderSwan, the iOS versions that have very different art for a lot of the games, particularly Final Fantasy VI. So what version are we going to see on here? That's actually a huge sticking point for me because I'm not a fan of some of the different versions, particularly if they look like the iOS versions. It's automatic no-buy for me. I'm not touching it. I really hope that it looks closer to the original releases for a lot of them, or the best release. Final Fantasy I, I really enjoyed the PSP version the most, I think. But yeah, so it really depends on the details. And then, of course, the questions of modern gaming. Are there going to be things like day one patches? Are there going to be patches down the road? That kind of junk. If any of that is true, so I'm obviously not going to pre-order it, then it's automatically going to be a no-buy for me. If it's not complete on the disc, 10, 15 years from now, I can just put the disc in a PS4 and play it, then I don't want anything to do with it. And that goes for every game for me, really. If 10, 15 years down the road, I'm keeping systems running, I have backup systems, that type of thing, I put a disc in. If I forgot to do that update and it no longer exists online somewhere, then what if that update is actually extra content? Some games, even Final Fantasy 15 now, there's some kind of updated, tweaked content that is an update. If that's never on a physical disc, eventually could that be really hard to obtain and actually have the full product? So it really depends on the intricacies of modern gaming and all the little hassles and loopholes, and it's very much about the now, and I think a lot of people, not everyone cares about this, but a lot of people don't really think about the future of some of this online-only content, or a lot of this, just DLC additional content. You don't really think about the fate of some of that content in the future and how easy it's going to be to reobtain it physically at some point. So there are a lot of questions for me still, but no matter what, I'm still incredibly excited for this. It would be a really cool addition to have along with all my original versions and multiple different versions of a lot of the older ones particularly. I'm still pretty interested, and if it is true, and I would actually end up going with a Vita port, I think, definitely between the two. No real reason in particular, but I play all my Final Fantasies on console most of the time. The exception might be Final Fantasy I. I said I really like the PSP version, but so it might be cool just to have a really cool updated, collection on the Vita. And I forgot to mention too that the other thing would be to have the Final Fantasy 13 trilogy released on PS4. I forgot because I do not give a crap. You couldn't pay me to take that on, but yeah, that would be kind of cool for the 30th anniversary to have Final Fantasy, all the main games at least, all available on one console physically. That would be pretty cool. So we'll see what happens in the coming year to see if the rumors are true and what all the little details are with this release.